Hi everyone, so this will be a twin flame spread. As I mentioned in the original post on my site, I will be I will be doing these sporadically. So interesting. So I had to just jump in everywhere. So I was moved to do one today, and let's see what comes up. Hmm. Okay. All right. So what's coming through here is actually pretty interesting. Um, so for the cards on the top are both for this side is for the representing the state of the divine masculine, and this side is representing the state of the divine feminine. In the top row, we have where each side stands physically in the physical realm, and then in the middle we have a present desire, and then towards the bottom, this is where they're standing in spirit. So a couple of things here are standing out already, pretty, which is I think is pretty interesting. Um, the world coming up as a joining factor, mutual want between the divine masculine and divine feminine is it's giving a feeling that both sides feel as if they've completed their introspection. Um, the world being joined with two cups cards with the eight of cups for the divine masculine and the seven of cups for the divine feminine, it's giving me a feeling that there's a lot of there's a desire to move forward in an emotional sense. There's like both sides feel that they've completed all their introspection, and they know where they stand emotionally as it relates to this connection. And so that's pretty interesting that's pretty interesting to look at. But then I also have what comes up on the underside of the deck is the what we if you can see there the Four of Cups, and that's coming up reversed. So what that's giving is also being a Cups card, also a very intense emotional presence. This is kind of giving a vibe that both sides perhaps feel as if they've missed an opportunity either to reunite or for growth or for just some basic satisfaction within this union, just something that's fulfilling, just a slightly deeper connection, a breakthrough. It could be something as small as a conversation, anything really, but it just feels like there's a missed opportunity. It feels like both sides feel as if there was a missed opportunity. So I thought that was pretty interesting to look at. So with that said, let me get into let's just start with the physical. So for the King of Pentacles, this comes up for the physical state of the divine masculine, and it's showing that the divine masculine is feeling very present, very grounded and comfortable in the physical realm. They feel as if they have a level of mastery over the things that matter to them, and they feel like they've reached this level of achievement, and it's allowing them to sit back and revel a little bit in what they've accomplished. And it also gives the feeling that they've conquered something that's important to them, and they're ready to take on the next challenge. So with this physical grounding, it feels like there's maybe a more spiritual endeavor coming, or an emotional endeavor coming. Um, I'm getting a lot of emotion actually coming from the divine masculine. Um, Not just in terms of desire, but it's a very active feeling. It's a very active feeling, and it's like they want to share their emotions with the divine feminine, but if you saw the last spread, I believe there's a bit of hesitance, and it feels like the divine masculine, maybe they talk a big game at first, but now they feel, and they don't want to get hurt. So now they're playing a bit shy. But I am getting a lot of emotion, um, and there's love, there's love there, and that's partially why they're so shy now, um, because there's vulnerability with that love, like with total, complete, unconditional, all encompassing love. There's vulnerability there. There's, they don't want to open themselves up to taking a loss. They don't want to hurt because, as you may have experienced on your own journey, the divine masculine can be a bit stubborn, of course, and they may seem like coldly logical, but they feel and they hurt just like the rest of us. And when they hurt, it takes a very long time for them to heal. So that's what I'm getting from the physical, from where the divine masculine is standing in the physical at this moment, and moving into the spiritual, because I want to cover the spiritual and then move to the desire. We have, in case you can't see it, we have the Hierophant, and the feeling that's coming with the Hierophant is seeking seeking some sort of a traditional or an established form of unity, or an experience, something that's very structured, that's perhaps a bit rigid, and I am getting marriage vibes from this. So in the spiritual, there definitely is a desire for that final union between one party and another, and it's it's kind of welling, because again, this is a pretty emotionally charged spread. There are a lot of cups showing up here, and so there is this desire for that final union. There is this desire for something with structure, So this isn't a very the the spiritual feeling. The feeling in spirit is that there isn't an urge to be free flowing right now. There's no improvisation. There's no going with the flow. It's all very the divine masculine has locked himself into a steady routine. And what's coming with this is, again, like as I mentioned previously, this card is giving me marriage vibes. It's giving me unity vibes. Um, there's really a very intense urge coming from the divine masculine for unity, and it's kind of got me laughing a bit because the energy that's coming through is so it's it's joy. They're very joyful. There's a very joyful feeling. There's there's a lot of peace and calm within, even though it may not present itself in the physical. There is a lot of peace and calm within, and it's kind of like they're in love and they're living in love, and they don't really care to be bothered with anything about it. They're just filled with love right now, and it's very uplifting, and like I said, it's very joyful, and so it's kind of got me laughing a bit because it's just so much. There's so much happiness in the divine masculine's energy right now, and it feels like sooner or later they're going to take that step because we transition into the Eight of Cups, and this is about moving forward. So the present desire is basically to move forward. They, if you're divine feminine, you're out of touch with your divine masculine partner. They want to reach out to you. For some of us, this isn't news, but they do want to reach out to you, and it's getting to that point where they're just going to up and do it very soon because, like I said, the energy here is so filled with love, and they don't want to keep it to themselves. They want to get out there and express it. They really want to revel in it with you. So they want to share their love with you. And this Eight of Cups is a present desire. They they want to take that step with you, and it feels like they're just waiting for something to happen for them to feel comfortable with doing it. But even if that doesn't happen, this, like I said, this joy is so powerful. It's only a matter of time before they're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm going to go for mine. So this energy here is very interesting, and I would keep an eye on that. But as I'm transitioning over to the divine feminine, um, I would like to say that you should not live your life waiting for this reconnection. The divine feminine is she's in a space she wants to live her best life, and in some ways she's doing that. A lot of people within that who identify as the feminine twin flame, they're focused on living their best life, and that's where your focus should be. Your focus shouldn't be on waiting for this to happen. No, your focus needs to be on what do you want for yourself from this life. What do you want that you don't have? What do you want to experience? What do you want to manifest? What do you want to do for yourself? What better do you want for you that you don't have? What can you do to achieve that? That's where your focus needs to be as the divine feminine. So with that said, let's let's start with the physical. And what's coming through here, the this we have this Ace of Cups, and it's coming up reversed. So this is telling me that the divine feminine is is lacking a bit of clarity. She's seeking some clarity um, regarding something in the present, in the physical. She's seeking clarity on something that matters a lot to her, and because it's not coming through as she wants it, it's kind of it's kind of shaking shit up. It's kind of upended everything. Um, because this potential fulfillment, the satisfaction, this relief that the Ace of Cups typically represents, it's it's being blocked, or it's coming through very, very, very slowly. So that's the issue that the divine feminine is kind of dealing with in the physical. Like what issue, what are you dealing with, what in your space, what really matters to you that isn't going the way you want, or what's going on that you can't quite find a satisfactory explanation for, that's just got you completely out of whack. What are you, again, as I mentioned a moment ago about the divine feminine needs to be focused on living her best life. um, what's keeping you from living your best life, and why is it keeping you from living your best life? Why are you giving a lot of weight to one thing that it feels like it's not a very significant issue that can be sorted out if you just release and move forward with other things that resonate within you? In the physical, the divine feminine is kind of struggling with letting things come together, and so there's a lot of frustration that's rooted in this Ace of Cups reversed. And for going from that to the spiritual, it feels like the energy coming through from the divine feminine is very serious. It's very where the divine masculine was more joyful and really filled with love and happiness. The energy that's coming through from the divine feminine is very serious, very focused, and I think it's perhaps a bit too focused because in the spiritual we have this Queen of Wands reversed, and so the Queen of Wands generally when she's upright is a very good um, it's a very good card for focusing on action, on getting things done, on movement, because she's witty, she's charismatic, she's focused, she gets shit done. She's very focused, she's very accomplished, she gets a lot of things. Um, she multitasks, she handles things with great mastery. But in this reverse position, what's coming through is an urge for control. that's so intense, it's kind of choking things off a bit. It's not pleasant energy right now, to be quite honest. And so I would say the state of the divine masculine, uh, I'm sorry, the divine feminine is, it's a little bit concerning right now, because there's this kind of sense of just being overwhelmed and a need for release, and just a need to, perhaps just chill out a bit. If you're resonating with the divine, with the feminine within this twin flame connection, uh, take some time and check in with yourself. Focus on, where are you seeking control? Are you seeking too much control? Because where where the divine masculine is kind of, he's kind of lurking and looking for the perfect time to make a move. The feminine is more, I would say, very exacting and very, very focused on creating the moment. She wants to create moments. The divine masculine wants to seek moments. The divine feminine wants to create moments. And there's a certain point where you have to realize that you can only do so much to create a moment, that trying to overdo it is really just, again, it's overwinding things, and that's not a need right now. So this kind of feels like the moment where the divine feminine is just, whatever frustration she's got from dealing with the divine masculine, this is where she's letting it out. This is where she's letting it out. This is kind of where it's boiling over a little bit. This is where it's, like, she's just, I've had it. I'm not going to keep dealing with this shit. I have things to do. And if you can't do this right, I'm just going to fucking do it myself. I can't anymore. So that's the energy that's kind of coming through from the spiritual right now, which is just like I said, it's very intense and it's very exacting. Like, there's really a need for the divine feminine to kind of chill out a little bit, and myself included, and just kind of give up a little bit on all the control they're seeking, because moving into the physical, I'm sorry, into the desire, into the present desire, we have the Seven of Cups, and it feels like the desire within the divine feminine is to manifest, because what we have in the Seven of Cups, we kind of have this energy of bringing dreams to life. And so what I would say is, in the present, when it comes to having this greater interest in manifestation, uh, again, check in with your urge to control, check in with what's frustrating you, uh, invest in a little in finding some clarity, because the energy right now is actually favoring manifestation very heavily, and you'll get what you ask for. So be careful about what you ask for and how you ask for it, because it might come through. So this is the divine feminine, where the masculine is kind of giving this energy of, I really want this union, I really want to reunite. The feminine is kind of like, Eh, I guess. Okay, sis, if you want. There's a lot of there's a lot of detachment. There's a lot of separation. A lot of the feminine is kind of like, I've given you every chance. I've bent over backwards for you. I've let you take me places I would never let another person take me. I would never let another experience take me. And you kind of tricked it off. So now I'm kind of just like, forget it. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not investing myself in that anymore. So what's coming through for the world is the mutual desire that the divine masculine and the feminine have is to get to a space where they can look at everything they've done and just be at peace, be ready to move forward, move on to something, move on to the next big thing. um, the masculine wants to do this by moving on, the feminine wants to do this through manifestation. So I say that's the energy. That's kind of like the overall status of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. This is kind of like the state that they're in right now. And as always, just take what resonates within you and don't worry about what doesn't. There's a lot going on out there, and you don't really need to worry about everything. Again, for both sides, don't press too hard for movement. Let it come. There's a lot of the present climate we're in right now. There's a lot of transforming and a lot of evolving that needs to be done. So let that happen, and just let what's next, let it flow. So that's all I have for now. Take care. Be well.